There's a stage of two halves to come today between Carcassonne and Bagnères de Luchon as the Tour arrives in the Pyrenees. The riders will have a relatively flat run to the intermediate sprint in Saint-Giron, which comes after 124 kilometres. They will then tackle the Porte d'Aspet, the Monte and the Portillon before a short but steep descent to the finish line. Well, after two stage wins from the breakaway ahead of the rest day in Carcassonne, plenty of riders were keen to get away early, but they were almost systematically shut down by the peloton. Warren Barguil began this stage 22 points down on Julian Alaphilippe in the mountains classification, but he picked up the first of the day at the Côte de Fajol. After the race, it was briefly neutralised due to a protest by local farmers. Raphael Maika got away with Andrea Pascalon, Franco Pellizzotti and Stefan Kung, but they were soon reeled back in. The peloton steaming along and covering 48.7 kilometres in the first hour of racing. Barguil and Alaphilippe were both in the next group to splinter off, heading towards the Côte de Pamiers. Alaphilippe, who has had the polka dot jersey since stage 10, pipping his fellow Frenchman to the summit. But they were soon all back together again, with Luc Rowe controlling the pace for Team Sky. A huge breakaway finally formed after 100k. 47 riders in there, a third of the peloton, and the highest placed amongst them was the white jersey of Pierre Latour. The gap stretching out to 8 minutes, heading towards the Col de Porte d'Aspet. That was when Philippe Gilbert decided to have a go. The Belgian with around a minute on the other chasers at the top of the climb. But the quick-step man suffered a spectacular crash on the way down after misjudging this corner. Thankfully, no major damage was done, and he was able to carry on. His teammate Alaphilippe was back on the charge up the Col de Monte, tightening his grip on the polka dot jersey as Barguil began to struggle. And there were still 17 riders in contention before the day's final climb, the Category 1 Col de Portillon, as the Tour briefly left France for the only time this year for 15k in Spain. Adam Yates going for it. The Mitchelton Scott leader looking to console himself with a first Tour stage win after his GC hopes were dashed in the Alps. He had 18 seconds on Alaphilippe heading into the final descent. Well, the race looked to be very much on, but drama for the British rider as he was undone by a crash here. Alaphilippe sailing past and nobody would catch him. The Frenchman, who also took a solo victory at Le Grand Bonan with plenty of time to celebrate as he came to the line all alone, Quick-Step's fourth win of this Tour. Well, last year it was Barguil who took two stage wins and the polka dot jersey, and Alaphilippe looks set to follow in his footsteps. Another superb effort from the golden boy of French cycling, who not only won the day but also picked up 30 King of the Mountains points. He now leads Barguil by 49 points in the fight for that polka dot jersey. In terms of how I was feeling, I didn't think I'd be able to go all the way, but I waited until just the right moment. I knew how the stage ended because I came here on recon. I knew it was a very dangerous descent, and one of us was bound to crash because we both took a lot of risks. But I'm just so happy to have won today. So Alaphilippe winning on the first day in the Pyrenees, just as he won on the first day in the Alps. Spanish champion Gorka Izagirre sneaking ahead of Yates to take second. Bauke Mollema and Domenico Pozzovivo completing the top five. The GC favourites all rolled through together around 9 minutes down, and so no changes at the top. Pierre Latour and Guillaume Martin were both in the break. They move up to 13th and 15th and pull away from Egan Bernal at the top of the white jersey standings. Well, tomorrow's the one that they've all been waiting for, or all been dreading. Take your pick. Stage 17, only 65 kilometres long, but it packs a huge punch with three big climbs. The Monte de Périgueux, the Col de Val-Thorens and an uphill finish to the Col de Porte. The riders will set off in a Formula 1 style grid in GC order, starting with Thomas and Froome. It promises to be absolutely spectacular.